Yo, what up? What up? Classic Conversations. Got a new segment called Politic'n, and today what we gonna politic about, chop it up about, is kind of some updates. What's been going on with Nipsey Hussle and his legacy since his passing. It's been about a week and a half almost, right? And a couple of things have popped up in the media.
Shit, really? A week, yeah.
About a week, a week,
Last
exactly,
Sunday?
last Sunday.
It's a solid week,
So
man.
it's a solid week. So just kind of updating. I've heard some things like Daylight had a couple comments to his fellow rappers, to which he saw a lot of the artists giving their condolences, saying like, you know, they supported him, they fuck with him, they were family, friends, fans of Nip, and they applauded him for all of his community activism. But Daylight said he didn't want to hear that shit. Called them pussies. And he named one by name. He said it was Drake. His gripe is that if you thought that this nigga was so dope, if you applauded him so much for his community activism and some of those things that he was doing, giving back to the people, and you have the resources as well, how come you didn't do it? If you really supported him and his initiatives, like you say, after he passed, how come you wasn't right along with him doing that, and how come you not doing it now? And so he was definitely upset about that, and he named Drake by name and called the rest of them pussies. Do I feel as strongly as him to call them pussies? No. But do I agree with him? Absolutely yes. And then short of that, obviously, the disrespectful shit Kodak said, which I don't even want to say, you know, give him, I don't even want to give him no shine for that shit, but that was the additional thing that's happened. I mean, people have said things, a lot of other things have come up in the media, but I think, you know, what Daylight said was definitely a strong comment, to which I understand. Support is action, not words.
From the whole shit, let's see, out of everything you just mentioned with the Nip situation, you know, for a young entrepreneur like myself, a young black entrepreneur like myself from the city, from the inner city, you know, it kind of just put it on me to where it's like I took my week to have like my grieving moment. You know what I'm saying? As far as figure and business person that I look up to, as far as those type of moves, it took me a little minute to get through that and just start, you know what I'm saying, be cool with listening to the music. But for the most part, I feel like if anything, it's just motivating nonetheless. Like me and my dog Karel, who was working in the office today since about like 1 o'clock today, you know. And not to say that we don't always work like this, but you know, it's a little bit more
hard.
Right, for that many hours, you know what I mean? And then straight to here after that, it's like, you know, it just put a little bit more emphasis on you, a little bit more emphasis on your hustle, pun intended, I guess you could say. But yeah, what you think?
I definitely think that it's gonna change the city for the better, and I hope that I hope people don't just forget about it in like 2 months from now, and like everybody's back on the regular shit instead of like bettering themselves and like staying motivated to like go after their dreams. Cause I feel like that was his whole message for us, at least in the city. Like, was it's so much more for us out here. Everybody comes to our city to capitalize, and we need to capitalize off our city.
Side note too, my whole life I grew up on Van Ness in Manchester. If you're not from LA, like the area, the gangs in that area, you got like the A-Trays, you got the Inglewood families, you got like the 6-0s, and then the Hoovers not too far away. But like a lot of neighborhood Crips and stuff like that. But it was a very positive sight to see gang members from rival hoods that have very, very, very deep-rooted beef all be in the same shopping center, smoking blunts together, sharing
chopping
liquor,
it up,
having good conversation. The BPSs,
big homies
bloods,
hugging,
like, big homies, young dudes, all type of stuff. So that was very positive, at least in my community where we from, all of us at this table, to see gangs that we know don't even like driving past each other in traffic without some ignorant stuff happening. But you know, it's a real positive time in LA right now, and things are turning around, and hopefully it'll stay like that, opposed to just being a temporary thing.
Absolutely.
I think can I say one thing? I think it's wild too that the nation, like how the Nation of Islam marched and they had their presence there too, because even though it wasn't televised, it wasn't even on the news that they did that, but I feel like that's some magical shit. Like, he's really bringing everybody together, and it is a revolution now. Like, he did start. It started a revolution.
Oh yeah. Well, Farrakhan always in the hood, even at his age. But shout out to Farrakhan, and shout out to some of his young soldiers, Rizza Islam. He really puts action to it. Like, he's just not out there speaking a bunch of rhetoric and a bunch of empty words. He be on the concrete, like feet to the concrete.
Although he made the whole like conspiracy statements, and
I mean, well, some people think it's a conspiracy. I do.
I mean, I did, but now that I'm looking at it, I don't believe so. I mean, so we politicking, so I guess you could say, like, it's crazy that, you know, the dude, like, supposedly his whole family, like, they informants and shit, so that leads to the police, but then you got, like, the police acting like they love Nipsey, so it's like, how can
your enemy ain't gonna tip your, tell you that
JFK,
they're not gonna tip their hand. So, regardless, if he is snitch, he definitely is the hand of the government, because that's how it works. But, depending upon how deep conspiracy is or goes, that's another conversation. But I think what's healthy is that we have the dialogue. I just hate to see that people online who think differently argue to the point where they are upset with each other. You look at a lot of comments where people are saying negative things or hurtful things or really wild things about somebody just because I think it's a conspiracy. No, you think it's just the regular shit that's being told. Yeah, we should all be able to have healthy conversation and be able to agree to disagree. It's healthy that people don't all think the same. We just need to be more inviting for it, because it's not going to do us what's the good? And then bringing us together, and then we find unity, but then we can't even find that unity for sure because we're arguing about what really happened. Like,
yeah,
that's just silly.
I feel like that we should just drop that and just unite and just keep it going.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody, you think what you think, you feel what you feel.
The end result, so to say.
Yeah, the end result. He not here, right?
And we
got to figure out what to do. Yeah, and we got to figure out where to go from here.
Right.
Yeah, right. So it don't matter if you think it's, the government. If you don't think it's Donald Trump. Or if you think it's literally just Eric Holder in and of himself and on his own, it don't matter. We need to be able to move forward, unified, and definitely not something as petty as these arguments. Not to say that it's not a good thing to think about or investigate into, but for two brothers not to be able to talk, or a brother and a sister, we should definitely be able to agree to disagree and move forward as one, so that we can figure out how to buy the block.
So about the Daylight shit, right? I think a lot of people don't really know. A lot of people know Daylight more for his antics,
his
and
troll.
like him
super troll.
Dressing up as a white man, all the
super,
makeup
dude
and shit.
Is a super troll, like a self-proclaimed super troll.
Yeah, a dummy super troll, but bro, bars are on the next level. You feel me? Like,
crazy.
he will really burn a hole through a nigga chest rapping.
And he's a dope battle rapper and a dope songwriter.
Both, for sure.
Which is rare.
Right. And then on top of that, obviously, niggas in the streets respect him. You feel me? He from Watts. He from Great, man, right? I think so. So he from Great. So, but it's like, on top of everything, the shit that he's saying, he can say that type of shit because he doesn't care about the fame aspect. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have that FOMO, the fear of missing out. We was talking about that earlier. Just like people in our culture, period. Black people in our culture having the fear of missing out because of the things that they feel like come with it, the tangible things that come with it, as well as the money and the fame and all that type of stuff. But I think Daylight is just another person that, not to say we shouldn't have been protecting it, but like that's another person like our culture definitely needs to protect as well. Even though he has an out of the box way of thinking, he's still speaking about stuff in a down to earth manner, in a street level manner, where he can relate to both. The uppers, which are the Drakes and people like that, because I'm pretty sure he's came in encounters with them, and then the people on the street level too.
Yeah, he definitely.
I think people are using his death as I do think some celebrities are trying to capitalize off of it.
For sure.
As far as with their posts and like all the shit they be saying, like you already know who Nip fucked with, and like obviously like some people are just posting it to get views on their page still.
So. I mean, it definitely come to, but yeah, like you said, we know who really fucked with him. I mean, they know. But in the end, I think what we take away from this is definitely we need to unify going forward, and we need to take this and look at those who are alive, who are still kind of on the same page or beginning to be on that page.
Like, are they gonna step up?
I cultivate them, give them that approval that they need to know that we need you and we will support you and protect you. As a people, we'll have your back. We'll go to war for you. And like you said, we need to be protecting those who go out on that limb to speak the real shit, so that they don't end up, we don't end up having to mourn them as well. Not to say it's out of our fault, but at some point, if we don't wake up, it's going to be our fault.
Yeah, exactly.
If we continue to let all of our heroes end up like this. So, Politic'n, 10 minutes, a little bit longer, but classic conversation, Politic'n, Fresh,
Correct.
and Vic.
We out.
We out.